What it do, everybody? It's your man, Mr. Stout from the Skeembeatzradio Music Review. We in the house. Yes, I know it's a lot of light, but new things are coming anyway on deck. You know what I mean? Real soon. So you guys stay tuned to AMI TV as well. Atlantic Music Industry.com. Music spelled with a Z. And also Scheme Beats Radio Music Review on deck. A lot of good things coming up for the fall. So right now we got things that's already on deck that's going on for the fall. Got my homegirl in the house. All right. I mean, it's been a long time. We haven't interviewed you in a minute, but you've been doing so many big things out there throughout your career and where you at right now. Some really good things is going on, and we're gonna get a chance to talk about that. But we have Tiasia Newman right here with us on the Scheme Beats Radio Music Review. Pieces, how things going?
I'm all right, baby. We
Uh,
always looking to the future, my guy. That's all we could do
Actual
is
fact.
just make it work.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what we do. Like, there's a lot of things we got to get into, but you definitely have a new, well, this performance that you have is coming up on September 5th at the Asbury Park Transportation Center, coming up on Friday about art and fashion and music. I wanted to get into some of that right there. Let us know how'd you get this concept together.
Well, this Friday, I'm going to be doing performance art called Ruffling Feathers, and it's going to be featuring New Space Band. New Space Band is kind of a big deal out here in Asbury Park.
Okay.
The event is sponsored by Over the Moon, which is owned by a lady named Megan.
All right.
She's doing that in partnership with the city of Asbury Park,
Big
where
up.
she is just opening the door for artists to be able to come out into the space and vend. It's from 5 to 8. She's actually not charging the artists
Okay.
to vend their pieces. She's not charging the performance artists, and actually, the music artists are actually being compensated for their time. So, I just want to support her. I feel like it's really, really dope that she's doing that. There's a lot of places and a lot of artists who actually are not as big as they could be because we all know we spend our money on the art. You know what I'm saying? So by the time we trying to pay a vending fee or whatever thousands of dollars that they're asking for, we don't have it because it's in the canvas.
Right.
So
Yeah. So this right here, because this is something that I did see on some of the social media out there. They did some things with fashion shows in the subway in New York City. Is this something like, kind of to like how the way that people are starting to go out there, to the people instead of them like, them coming to them, to you guys?
I think it's more about just kind of the freedom of it and the way that the fashion industry is going to itself. I feel like the fashion industry is getting ready to be in the hands of the artists. That the big name companies have been stealing the designs from the whole time. And it's simply that the designers that they are stealing from don't have the money to put the trademark on it or, you know what I'm saying, make it put the stamp on it like they can. And similar to the situation with Dapper Dan, I don't think that that's going to be able to keep happening.
Oh,
I think everybody is looking for authenticity. I
yeah.
think everybody is looking to be inspired. And so I think what's going to happen is that the industry is going to go to the artist as it should.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that right there. With Fashion Week is coming up very close as well. I know you got some things going on with that. What do you think that what's going to be the new scene or what's the new look, for fashion right now for the fall fashion of 2025?
Um, I'm really not sure. I don't know. I don't keep up with the trends and things like this. I know for myself, I'm doing more for Vintage Brothel. This season is going to be more of a rock star aesthetic. I'm
Okay.
doing more basically ruffle and feathers. So it's like alternative black girl clothes that you wouldn't expect for me to make. So I am looking forward to seeing what they're doing. I know I'll be at Runway Seven's international show, and then I'll also be there for the streetwear show. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like. I'll also be coordinating the crayon show that's going to be in the Bronx. And then I'm going to go over to Brooklyn with No Fear as a keynote speaker for that show. And then the Kyle Woodland show is going to be at the Hugo Hotel in Soho. I'll be there as the creative director.
Wow.
So I'm going to be seeing a ton of models, a ton of designers. So I'm looking so forward to seeing what the aesthetic for the independent industry is for fall, because I don't really keep up with mainstream. That really doesn't mean too much to me. I'm
Okay.
more interested in what's happening with the actual creators of fashion. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right. And then by you saying that right there, some of the models that you work with, I've seen some of the videos, and we're gonna also have those shown out here as well. You guys get a chance to see some of that. How do you find some? Because you're a fashion, what's called fashion mom, or what is it?
Hmm.
Yeah. Right. So,
Yes.
what are some of the criterias, or what with the fashion world? How do you like they can get into these kind of things?
Um, I'm literally just looking for girls and guys who have the personality that's necessary. Every designer has a different aesthetic. Every designer likes different kinds of models. So I never look for the perfect model. I look for the model who fits whatever it is that I'm trying to reflect with vintage brothel. Um, so yeah, I don't have, we're the independent industry doesn't have the same kind of rules that mainstream has. Um,
Okay, so it's not like Vogue or anything like that, or
Nah, please. We are Vogue. Vogue
yeah,
doesn't exist without what it is that we're doing,
right.
regardless to any of it. Because when you are a creative director for Vogue, most of the time the aesthetic that like you're showing is going to be on time with the industry anyway. The independent industry doesn't wait for instructions. That's not what we do. We give the instructions,
Yeah,
which means what are the independent art designers, what are the independent fashion shows showing? They look at that. They don't tell us that they look at it, but they do. They
yeah,
don't do anything without us. Even the people who they hire in that position, actually, let's just say Vogue hires another millennial. We're going to be on the same frame as far as how things are happening with art because we're exploiting the art that is ours, right? I'm an 80s baby. So
yeah,
I love a sweatsuit, dope sneakers, a sweatsuit, bad heels, you know what I'm saying? Just that aesthetic.
yeah.
So regardless to anything they borrow from the independent, that's how I feel about it.
So the Met Gala, I mean, I know you see some shots of some videos from that. Was that something that was like they're taking the step of going, far and beyond of what people are trying to like, what you guys are doing?
No, I think the Met Gala was at best mediocre. Um, I think we saw what they were trying to do. I think that it was a nice concept with it being like a tribute to Andre Leon Talley, who absolutely deserved it, and I hope he rests in peace
Right.
as we are having this conversation. But at the same time, there's so many people in the mainstream industry that were scared to be wrong that they didn't even try.
Wow.
So, and that's the other side of it. They didn't even try. They just, and then even for the black people who did carry it the way that it was supposed to, I think it was more about us being proud, right? Whereas like we needed permission to be proud to be a dandy. Whereas June Ambrose, Dapper Dan,
Yeah.
uh Misa Hill, like, all that's what they've been giving the industry the whole time. There's nothing outside of the black culture. There's no one that can tell me anything different.
Wow. Wow.
So
So the things that you're putting out there right now, you guys are the trendsetters of these kind of things. Um, how do you go through without giving out too much, but your process of how the way you would do your designs, because like you said, a lot of things you do are one of a kind.
yeah. Um, Mostly I go crazy. That's really how it works. I can't do nothing until I'm completely out of my mind.
Yeah.
Um, I'm stagnated until then, and you can attest to it. You're my good friend. We talk all the time, but once I start making clothes, I can't talk to nobody because I'm completely nuts. Which is a part of the requirement. It's like it's funny, but most people don't understand that a lot of artists have a mental health thing. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter what it is. And that thing is usually what gets us through our actual creative process. So
Yeah.
it's like I can't even start to make treatment to put on the clothes because I have to see what these rags are going to be able to turn into? So my
I-
first order of business when creating clothes is to let myself be completely crazy.
Right. I see you wearing it right now. So that's something that you designed yourself.
No, right now I have on Postscript Customs. This is from Understanding.
Okay.
My guy, he is actually my stylist. I feel like I
Okay.
can't even, so like for Fashion Week last year, I felt like I didn't have any clothes until he bought me five suits, and not because I needed to wear them, just because they had to be an option. So yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah,
My
that's
guy, he holds me down.
no doubt, no doubt. So yeah, so we want guys to everybody to go out there for it's coming up September 5th at the Asbury Park Transportation Center, Ruffling Feathers, presented by Tiasia Newman. It's a live performance art show, also featuring a new space, art, fashion, and music. You did say other young lady, her name was on there. I didn't have her name on there as well, but you said who was the one who was the curator for that?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that with my best friend Shoria Hanberry.
Okay.
Um, oh, are you talking about the lady Megan?
Yes, both. Yeah, both of them.
Megan.
All right.
Megan is the owner of Over the Moon, but yes, and when I do the live performance, it will be with my best friend Shoria Hanberry.
Okay.
We did lose a great in the hair industry recently in Asbury Park. We lost Rufus Christopher. He was a bell bondsman, and he also was the owner of the Jump Off where I worked. I probably worked at the Jump Off for like 4 years. So in honor of him, because we do so much fashion and we do so much in the music industry, a lot of times people forget that I started out doing hair. And so we are going to do the live performance art with the hair, make the video, and put rest in peace to him. Because regardless of whether you remember I worked at the shop or not, Rufus definitely played a big part in my life. And I want to pay homage to him. So that's the
Yeah, that's
goal.
yeah. Rest in peace to the brother out there. Yeah, I know the wifey in the building. Trisha Evans
Right.
is chilling out there. Um, yeah. So this is what this is. This is what this is all about. you know, letting people know that what you guys are putting out there because it's a movement that you guys are working with. It's not just you yourself. You're moving within yourself, but then you're putting together a lot of different other movements. I've seen some of the photos that you had from the last shoot that you've done, and then also some of the videos, the visuals that you had, and some of the models. Who are some of the models that you're working with currently?
Right now I have about 11 models. Kishana, um, Sierra, Deja, Kitty, Dee Dee, Marasia, um, Quayshawn McKnight did pull up for me. Um, Ray Legend, Sharia, always. It was so many of them.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I could think of to name right now. But
Right. Yeah. So how was it like
so
to work
many.
with them? Yeah. How was it? You've known them. You work with them like first time, or is someone you've been working with for a while?
No, they're all models I've done tons of shows with. But
Yeah.
it's always a blessing when I get to the kids. That's another part of the creative process too, is that a lot of times I make clothes for them, or I make the clothes how I would dress the kids. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
works out well with them. We do go through things. I think that I'm always very blessed when it comes to the models because I think they never understand how much strength they actually give me. Um, I'm always blessed by that because there's always so many. First of all, they're adults who could be anywhere in the world, but they would rather be in a room with me, you know?
Yeah.
So I always appreciate that, their dedication to me, them being able to talk to me, tell me about the things that they're going through. When we did the art of mental health, I had actually gone through and decided which disorder each of them would get, not knowing that they were actually extremely relatable things to them.
Mhm.
But it's a gift. We're gifted that way. And I think they create a lot of balance for me. They have no idea what they do for me. I try to tell them, but
Yeah.
I'll never find the words for them to be able to understand how they carry me. They really do.
That's a good thing all the way out. That's,
Hmm.
that's a great thing right there to have that the energies that you guys share together, and it
Yeah.
definitely shows in the work that you put out there, and how the way you people would see that to see it because art has to be seen. It's not like really heard, but sometimes like music art is heard because you work in the music industry. But when you can put the two together, like the way you guys are doing this, for this next event you guys are doing, it's like those things match together. So if it's gonna, fit the aesthetic for that, then it actually has like double creativity to that, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always liked how the way people done shows. I've done a couple of shows where it's like they have the models, they have the artists performing, you know, in between or with them or whatever. It kind of matches, you know, what the song would do or how the way the art looks because people when they're dressing up or they're wearing some art, you're wearing your art, but you're listening to the art. You know, so it goes to what a part of your whole makeup, like the way you dress, your style of dress goes with the style of music you probably listen to. You know,
Right.
so I like that whole thing, how that works together.
Yeah, that is like my least kind of fashion show, my least favorite kind of fashion show. I don't love that.
Yeah,
I would never have a fashion show where I have music artists performing,
yeah,
and although
yeah.
I don't do that, we do straight fashion.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um, for myself as Tiasia Newman, if I'm having the show, I absolutely won't be doing that.
yeah.
But what I am seeing and learning, because I have to be open to learning and seeing things, is that a lot of the shows that I am going to be doing with the independent, my other group of kids, I call them the Brooklyn Street Kids.
Okay.
They are going to be having music artists performing in the fashion shows, and I think that's great. You know, everybody has their own aesthetic of how they want shows to be, and you cannot music and fashion absolutely go hand in hand. I just prefer for myself to do them separately.
Yeah.
So this like what we're doing on the 5th, it's not a fashion show, it's performance art, you know? So I'll be actively making hair act like a crazy hairstyle, actively be making like the look on them and having the models there in the scene. Yes, but it's not runway, you know.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
it was, we wouldn't be. Yeah.
Right.
I'm definitely trying to find different ways to incorporate all the art, which is the music, not me doing the music, but it is music. It is my actual canvas. It is me being able to be a hairstylist. I'm not just anything. I'm an artist all the way around. And so at this point in my life is where I'm trying to marry everything together so we can get a full message out, you
Right.
know, to the people who are seeing it.
Right. Like so I was saying too, but to add on to that is that when you do have, you know, your fits on, you know, your wears, whatever, you listen to a you know, a type of music. Not just, you know, because people wear fashion in their neighborhoods, wherever they get it from, whatever, going to shopping, whatever. But if you're listening to a certain type of music, it'll fit the part of what you're rocking. You know what I mean? Like if you're into those, you know, type of things with art and stuff like that. Like what you're wearing right now, you know, you said it could be some heavy metal, but it could be some hardcore hip hop. It could be,
Right.
you know what I mean, some skateboard P. Like it could be, you know what I mean? It could fit that those kind of things, you know, so people could find that, you know, in their, like I said, in their fits. But no doubt, you also have a few things too that's going on. You got the Under the Stars. I see you have the Big Break coming out as well. With you know, some of those things.
Yes.
Talk to us about some of those things you have going on with that.
For the Big Break Tour, I am super excited about that as I have been the executive director and senior journalist of Big Break magazine for about, I think we're going on 4 years now. And we have already won publication of the year, I think 2 years ago now. But the actual editor and owner of Big Break magazine, we have never been in the same room.
Wow,
And so I'm going to be very blessed
nice,
to finally be in the same room as me and Coco, as we have been able to do so many things, create so many opportunities, just so much with so many music artists from New Jersey to Kansas City, Missouri.
wow,
You know, just on the phone, us having meetings, just doing interviews, everything that needs to be done to have never been in the same room yet. So I'm so excited for that. I'm also really happy about the opportunities we are going to afford the artists that actually do show up because we are going to be giving away interviews. We're going to be giving away radio time slots. I think she's definitely doing some amazing content. We have a party bus with a stage on the inside of it. They're
nice.
going to do the performances inside this grandiose mansion that
Okay,
she has that's going to be in Queens. So
okay,
it
yeah,
should be really good.
yeah. That sounds gonna be a great time. Definitely, keep us informed about those things. We're gonna definitely share it here on the Skiing Beach Radio Music Review and also AMI TV. You guys get a chance to check that out. So also you were working with the what's the thing with the Under the Stars?
So Under the Stars is going to be hosted by Funeral Tev. He has his brand is called No Fear. That's going to be at Moments at Fulton on September 4th. If I'm not mistaken, the doors open at 5 o'clock. There, I will be a speaker. I'm going to talk to them about and just try to find some words of encouragement for them. I've always been very blessed by my Brooklyn Street kids. I have tons of different groups of kids. And I have a lot of different lives that for a season, I thought that um, God was taking the fashion from me. And so I just was going to be this media executive that we're working on these magazines and websites. And then with you, we're doing the industry. But, I thought that was going to be what was going on. But I'm so happy that Tev himself, after he took off 3 years, he's back with his fashion week.
Okay.
Cray, that's going to be the day before, he's back with his fashion week. Kyle Woodland, I'm doing that show on Sunday. He was already very discouraged by last season Fashion Week with the inconvenience of the club that we booked for it, and he didn't give up. And so this show is going to be on the 14th. So I'm just proud of them. I'll
Yeah.
tell you this, I was so full when I finally had the full all access passes for Runway 7. I felt like it was like the best thing that had ever happened. And by now, with the kids that I've already put energy into over the years,
Mhm.
I'm only going to be able to do 2 days
Wow.
with Runway 7. And I feel like I would be a fool to pick Runway 7 over them because they will make me live longer. Runway 7 is just like they want press. We understand that. They can like me, Tiasia Newman, and that's fine and good, but I'll live longer, showing up for these kids because as long as they're here, I'm here. Right. And
Right.
so I want to give them as much as the energy and support that they need so that they can be encouraged. So,
Exactly. Yeah, I feel you on that. That is very important to encourage, the youth out here and let them know that we're here for them. You know what I mean? Let them
hmm
know that we're actually here, like to give you information, give you the game, whatever, I mean, that you may need. We have to have those conversations a lot more through these things with the art because we know that the independent experience is real. There's a lot of folks that I've worked with
hmm
over 20 years over, plus it's like we actually like still out there pushing to help other artists get to a place where they need to be. And it's a marathon really, you know what I mean? So once you get to that point where things are happening for you, you can definitely check out like good stuff that's going to make it so then that you like, yeah, I can sit back and help the next person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pay it forward is for sure. You know,
Right.
no doubt about it. So I'm gonna let the people know again where you're gonna be at Ruffling Feathers. It's a live performance art featuring new space at the Asbury Park Transportation Center, Friday, September 5th on
hmm
2025, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Art, fashion, music. This is presented by Tiasia Newman. This is really dope. So what else that you have going on? Like what do you have for, I know Fashion Week, you got a lot of things going on. You're working in the music. It's good, like the fall is on deck. So what do you have coming up with that as well?
I'm not really sure what's going to happen with the music. I'm trying to figure it out. I was not mentally prepared for how my schedule went. I was just so happy to be doing Runway 7
Right.
with the full access that I didn't even consider
Right.
that I would be so busy and have so many things going on. So I'm literally like working. The pace is going to be so crazy. I'm literally booked out as of right now to the 28th of September.
Wow.
So from today forward, I have got to start making clothes today. I don't have any. When I go home tonight,
Right. Yeah.
that's that.
You're getting right to
hmm
it. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of
I
those.
know that DJ Alamo, I just went to go and see him yesterday. We were at Club Vera. He had did an all white party. So I did go and tap in with him. So DJ Alamo has some plans at Club Vera that's going to be in Cherry Hill.
Okay.
Um, so he's going to start doing some comedy shows with some music artists and stuff. Um, and we held it down in Philly for years as far as the coalition DJs with what we did with the music artists. So he's just picking it back up a different way, and we praying for him. He just lost his father recently. And also, shout out to Spin City too. He lost his mother, so we are praying for our
Sorry.
brothers in the industry so that they can keep their head up because they've been keeping the other people's head up for so long
Right,
that
right.
I think when they go through things, you think they can just deal with it. You don't even, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people that say they love them, they don't think that the love include calling because they have had a loss, not being at the club and trying to get them to spin your song.
Yeah,
But
it's true. Yeah,
you
very
know,
true. Yeah, that's it's we gotta like we all we got. It's like the
right?
CMB. When you're doing the independence, you really have to be in there. So then that you're a family. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
even if it's a long distance family, you're still doing what it is that you guys are working together for the one common cause, and that's what's important out here. That's why we support it in the independent realm. You know, in the pro realm as well as folks that we work with throughout, you know, who help us on our way, but we definitely pay it forward back to other artists and things of that nature. So let people know that, hey, man, you're not by yourself. And that's what,
right.
you know, determination, you know what I mean, is what it takes, man. We're determined to make some things happen and we're independent about it. And we want to all come together for one common cause. That's for real, for real. You know, keep doing that.
Facts.
And I definitely want to say what you're doing. I'm so proud of what you know you're putting out there and what you know things that are happening, and it's gonna be a lot more coming up for you throughout your you know your whole time what you're doing. I can see it like I've been telling you
Thanks, Ken.
a while back, you know, and just
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing, and I know people they're gonna follow through because it's already starting to happen. Um,
right.
do you have any like if you wanted to say something to somebody who was like wanted to get into the world of the fashion world or follow the footsteps or recommendations or any words of wisdom that you would like to put out there, you know, to let somebody know this is, you know, this is the path that they choose.
I would just say forge your own path. Don't try to be like anybody else. Try to be like yourself.
Right.
Be the most authentic version of yourself that you can. And it's going to be hard, but you should work harder.
Yeah, put the work in.
That's really it.
You know, no doubt about it. You got any shout outs, anybody you want to say hello to?
Oh gosh, do we have any shout outs? I mean, we can shout out Big Break Magazine, shout out to Certified Hip Hop Beauty and Barber, 10.1 The Fam,
Or,
uh, shout out to Alamo All Stars, DJ Alamo, it's my guy,
yeah,
Coco from Big Break,
go.
you know, is it Mikey? Well, shout
Mikey,
out to
yeah. Word
Mikey,
up.
my guy, VG Villain, shout out to them. But for the most part, just shout out to the artist, right? Shout out to the artist who hasn't been defeated by the things that were sent to destroy them. Shout out to the artists who still pick up their paintbrushes, still go in the studio, still go do whatever it is that you feel inspired to do in spite of all the things that we have to deal with as artists.
No doubt. That's some real stuff.
Yeah.
Hit them up with your social media or how the way they can get in touch with you or anything like that.
Yes, my Instagram is for you to love, the number four underscore the number two. No, for you to love underscore the letter U underscore the number two LUV for you to love, like the Luther Vandross song.
Right.
Um, and then my Facebook is just Tiasia Newman. So I'm around. You better like you're more likely to see me in a room than to catch me on social media. When was doing 10.1 The Fan, Window would always make a thing of saying that I am a social media influencer with I actually I don't agree with that. I think I'm a cultural influencer.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that I am more powerful in a room than I am on any piece of internet. I think that the inspiration that just joins me in every room I come in works to the best of my ability and actually has a lasting effect on people. And so I feel like my power is in my presence.
Yeah. Say that.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing. Do remember Tiasia Newman presents Ruffling Feathers, live performance art featuring new space at Asbury Park Transportation Center, Friday, September 5th, 2025. Doors open up or come out there early, you know what I mean? But it starts at 6 p.m. To 8 p.m. It's gonna be art, fashion, and music. And chop it up and make some things happen. This was all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. definitely for the things that you got, also the things you got coming up throughout the month. I know it's gonna be a long month of things that you got to do and take care of, but
Yes.
hit us up. Like we're gonna definitely have this whole thing presented out there for AMI TV. You guys can get some more all the footage that you might have. You can send us over to us so then we can put that out there as well. And so that we can chop it up and let the people see throughout the world what we got going on, and let us talk to some of the models up there. And I definitely, before we wrap this up, tell Alamo, stop playing.
Yeah.
Come
He's
on,
on a
man.
thousand.
Yeah, come
He's
on.
on a thousand.
Yeah, come on the show, bro. We need to chop it up for real.
He is on a thousand. He stands by what his slogan is. When he say outwork everybody, he mean just that. He is not playing.
Yeah,
I've always been so proud to be around Alum. I think, in my years, I've been very blessed, right, with the business partners that I've had, as far as DJ Alamo, as far as you, as
right.
far as Wendell Moss, as far as Coco of Big Break Magazine. I mean, we can go even as far as Scott Morris, you know what I'm saying? Mark Evo, being able to work with Stunna Dior, making my acquaintance with Daryl Pringle. I've been very blessed
Yeah,
with some very strong people in the industry that were able to just teach me, right? Like teach me for the industry. I
right.
don't carry myself a certain kind of way. Things do not fly with me as far as the music industry is concerned. I
Yeah,
pretty much I was the mother for fashion. Well, no, because I had like Bridget Artis, Tyrone Chablis, like those are my fashion parents. So I think I've had been very blessed to start among legends, right? So I don't have a choice to finish that way, right? I've always been around legendary energy as far as the people who brought me up in the industry. And so I'm blessed for that. And I try to be that.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. We talking about, excuse me, paying it forward is one of those things. Like definitely
Hmm.
do that because they'll check your energy and say, yeah, that's something to shoot for, But like you also said, for the words of wisdom is create your own path. So that's the thing.
Right.
I mean, so definitely keep up with that stuff you're doing. We really appreciate you coming on the air with us, chopping it up with us. We'll definitely have this out there if you guys
Yes.
check this interview out. You know what I mean? And just like keep pushing. We're going to see what's going on with the whole thing. Please, when you guys do what you guys get for the footage for September 5th and things that's going also with the travels that you're going to be out there in New York, be up to Brooklyn, Queens, the whole tri-state area. You know what I mean? We definitely want to be able to chance to check it out and put it on the air and let them know that we're here for them.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely, baby.
All right. Let me get to some of these joints right here on the Scheme Beats Radio Music Review. Do remember Tiasia Newman. All right. Come
Yes.
on.